Hi, good afternoon. I'm a bit late today. I this morning I was in a group, Facebook group, my friend Sam, and we're talking about some copywriting tips for coaches and therapists because her group is for those people, and she helps entrepreneurs to bust through blocks. She's helped me with something. She's awesome. Anyway, and so as part of our chat, she was talking about how she struggles, and I've heard this before, to kind of break the habit of how you're taught, how we get taught to write at school, writing essays, at university, writing dissertations, whatever, and at work in corporate land. If you have if you have a job that involves any sort of writing, business writing, so we've been taught and trained all these years how to write a certain way, what's correct, what's proper, all that kind of stuff. And then when you've got your own business and you're trying to connect with your audience through what you're writing, it it can be really hard because what you're thinking and what you want to say doesn't translate well into how you're trying to write it because you've got all these habits, this training, all these shoulda, coulda, have to say this certain thing, all the grammar stuff. Um, and it can really get in the way. And so I wanted to just share an actual tool that I use. It's a bit of a copywriter's secret, this tool. And what it does is it helps you to analyze your copy, whatever you've written, and so it's called the Hemingway app. So you can Google it, easy to find. And what you do is you paste your copy into it, your writing, and it's going to tell you what grade level it is. And so what that means is, if it's like grade 9 or 10, then it's written in such a way that somebody in grade 9 or 10 would understand what you're saying. Now, here's the thing. With any writing online, so websites, social media, whatever, your landing pages, you want to be hitting grade 4 or below. So, sometimes I hit grade 2. So you want your writing to be something that can be understood by people, by children in, grade 4 or less. So before you throw your hands up in horror, there's a reason for this, okay? People reading online don't read in the same way that, well, I would say we don't read stuff online in the same way that we read a book, let's say, or an essay or business reports. It's very much, sorry, my top's all skewy. It's very much people skim read online, which is a whole other topic of like headings and bullets, but people don't, we don't sit down and sort of read stuff in the same way. And also, when you're marketing online, it's more like a conversation. It doesn't need to be formal and stiff. You don't have to sound professional. You're not writing for a board or to an expectation of what everyone thinks things need to sound like to be professional in a corporate environment. Okay, you are, and again, it applies to everyone, but specifically for coaches and therapists, you are the face of your business. People need to trust you. They need to feel connected to you. And so it's kind of weird if you have your personality, you are who you are. And so when people get on calls with you or work with you a certain way, but that's not really how it sounds when they read your stuff online. There's a disconnect. And so that's a weird experience for people. And it also means that you're probably, if you're kind of censoring yourself this way, trying to sound professional, you are creating that disconnect. It's going to jar. It's not going to sound like you. So you're going to kind of struggle to do it because it's hard work, because it's not fun. Like, I don't know. I didn't mind writing essays in school. But it's not sort of, I don't think it's anyone's idea of fun, right? Writing that kind of stuff. Um, Writing for your own business can be fun. because it is you. It's you saying whatever you want to say. You can break any of the grammar rules. You don't have to sound like anyone except yourself. Um, so anyway, back to the Hemingway app. Sorry, I've gone off on a sidetrack. So what the Hemingway app does is, yeah, so you put your stuff in and it gives you a grade. And if you're coming at, like, say, grade 7, 8, or 9 or whatever, it's like, right, you've got to simplify this. So it's not dumbing it down, it's simplifying it and making it, it's a, what's the word that they use? Comprehension. So that your content is, the comprehension level is lower. And so it will give you suggestions. So it will tell you, and it does it like visually. It highlights it different colors. So I think it's yellow is if a sentence is too long, it will highlight it in yellow, and it suggests that what you do is try and break that down into 2 shorter sentences. So the aim here is simplicity. So if you use simple words instead of fancy words, whatever fancy words are, but you know what I mean, keep your vocabulary basic rather than advanced. Short sentences rather than big long sentences. You know those big long ones with lots of commas that you start off here with one idea, and then by the end of the sentence you've planted so many flags trying to keep track of what's going on that you completely lost the trail of thought. And that can be a stylistic novel form of writing. I've read books like that, and you can get into it, I guess, but it's not going to serve you well in getting your message across to people. So short sentences, keep it simple, keep the ideas simple. And by that I mean, again, it's not dumbing it down, but it's making it easy to comprehend what your idea is and what you're trying to say. It will prompt you to not use the passive voice too much. The passive voice, I'm so bad at explaining this. It's weird, right? I'm not a grammar person. So, whoever wants to judge me for that, that's fine. But the passive voice is like something was done to you instead of you actively do something. Anyway, it highlights it for you. If I could sit down and write it out, I would be able to explain it properly, and I will. But just off the top of my head, it doesn't come out. But so it will like flag those and make suggestions for you to change that. It will get you to take out extra filler words, and so basically you paste it in to Hemingway. It gives you all these suggestions, and then you keep an eye on this grade and try and get the grade down and down. And once you hit about grade 4, you're good to go. And the difference you'll see in how what you've written, how comprehensible it is, and just how different it is to read is huge. And so if you just use that consistently, you'll start writing differently, because you'll start training your brain. You'll get in the habit of composing things in a different way, and it will all start becoming easier. And so it's one way to make the task of writing, if it feels like a chore, less chore-like, because you can start playing around with it and like, how can I make it sound more like me? I don't have to sound like whatever this person in my head tells me I have to sound like. How can my personality come through? And so that's like a really great tool to help break that habit you've got of how you've been taught to write for all these years. So anyway, Hemingway app. So I'll be going through that in my program, in my course that's coming up in August. There's a whole heap of other tools that I use. I guess what I want to get across here is, yes, I'm going to be teaching writing, but it's not writing in the way that you would be taught it at university or whatever. We're not going to focus on grammar. I'm not even going to focus too much on copywriting techniques. They're definitely going to be in there. There will be templates. There will be things to help you understand why things work. But it's more about shortcuts, because I love a shortcut. So it's about the tools to help you just get to a place where you can consistently do the writing you need to do for your business that's going to get you results. We're going to set up those systems and processes so it's not time consuming, that you can outsource bits of it, that you can just keep the bits that you want to do, whatever they look like. It might be the bits that you want to do are doing live videos, and the rest of it you can outsource, and then the system will let you do that. Personally, the bit I like doing is the editing, the kind of playing around with it at the end. And so I'm going to work on outsourcing bits of the work that I do, because just the way I've broken it down makes all this possible. So I'm very excited about it. But yeah, anyway, so I've got 2 spots left at the current early bird price plus the copy clinic. So yeah, once they're gone, they're gone. And I'm not quite sure what the next bonus will be, but I'll come up with something. And then, yeah, I'll leave it there. All right. Have a good day. Bye.